Let me get everything set up on my computer over here. Make sure my volume is off. You'll hear the printer because I've got something printing I want to show you guys really quick. Let's see who all is on so far today. Let's see. Morphine Designs. Let's see who. There we go. Shelly, Heather, C. Floyd, Melinda, India, Laura, Tony. So hello everybody. Good morning if you are before lunch today. Good afternoon if it's lunchtime where you're at. I am so excited to be with you guys today. Please know that we are live and the store is open today, so you may hear people coming in, you may hear the phone ring, whatever. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I'm so excited that you're with me today. I know Friday is not my normal day, but it is day 9 of the 12 days of Christmas. India says cute earrings. Thank you, India. They are free. A free download on the website. I did witches hats, and these are the Santa's hats. So you can just switch it out to your colors. Thank you for the shirt. The shirt is from Amazon. Love my shirts. Okay, hello everybody. Okay, we are gonna have fun today. I'm so excited. So the first thing you need to do, if you get a chance, you don't have to do it now, but make sure to go to my website, offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com, and grab the free download for today. All right, Super Duo Craw Variations. All right, this is completely free. It is on the main page of my website, offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. When you scroll down, you will see featured items. This is on the featured items, and it's a free download. So you can go in and get it completely for free. Okay, so let's talk about what you need for today's project. So what we need for today's project, and if you'll notice, when you download the materials list, I give just generic amounts on that materials list, and here's the reason why. It's because my purpose of this is to teach you the basics of the stitch. All right, I want you to get comfortable with the stitch, because then in January, I'm going to actually show you a project using the stitch. Okay, so we're going into that time of the year where everything's crazy and you feel like you have no extra time. So this will be a good thing to practice if you have some extra time. I've already seen a question. Can you use any 2-hole beads, or is it just super duos? I have found after testing that the super duos work best, and you'll see why as we start stitching this project. Somebody said they love my glasses. Thank you so much. I get my glasses. They are prescription glasses. I get them online from Zenni, Zenni, zennioptical.com. So thank you very, very much for that. Okay, now for what you're going to need today, you are going to need a size 6 seed bead, a size 8 seed bead, a size 11 seed bead, a super duo bead. You're going to need needle and thread. Now, you know, normally I try to say, hey, use whatever floats your boat. This is going to be a very wobbly structure to get started. So if you have either some wildfire, some 8-pound fire line, something to that effect, I would suggest you use that. Now, me personally, I'm going to use my 0.06 in the dragon thread, but again, I created this. This is what I'm used to. So if you start this and it's super wobbly, you may need to go to something thicker or use a doubled thread. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. Great question. Kristen Campbell asked, how about mini duos? You can use mini duos, but what's going to happen is it's going to shrink in and out, and it's going to look a little funny. That's why I say super duos have seemed to work the best. But now what I would love for you to do is, when I show you this stitch, try some different 2-hole beads in and see. Like I said, I've tested a couple of different ones, and the super duo has worked the best. So we will hopefully be able to go from there. Lord, I just cut myself 2 pieces of thread, y'all. Okay, it's gonna be all right. Set that to the side to use for later. Somebody said, India says, I love the dragon thread. That makes 2 of us. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that is your biggest thing. Those are what you are going to need. So you'll notice on the download, when you go and get that free download, you will notice it just says you need 1 gram of each, and that's just a generic. All right, so I'm going to get ready to flip the camera around. Laura says, I might try 8s, 11s, 15s, and mini duos. That's good, Laura. Very good. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera around. So if you get motion sickness whatsoever, look away for just a minute while I flip the camera and get us into working order, okay? Here we go. Well, hello, Suzanne from Wales. We are so glad you joined us today. All right. So the first thing you're going to notice on my bead mat is I made sure to find all of my little samples that we had from our last class. Now, if you did not get to join us for the original Crawl Variations class, you need to go back and watch that video. We did all of these variations of Crawl in our previous Crawl class. You also will notice that you've seen pictures of these because I did an instant download, a freebie on my website, and it showed all of these different little samples. So that's the first thing you need to do is you need to go definitely and do that, because if you haven't, you might get frustrated today. Okay? I don't want to say that this is hard, but what I'm going to say is this is going to take practice. So I'm going to slide all these out of the way. Now, I've already started a little section here of Crawl with Super Duos. Now, I love this because to me, one of these is going to make a super cute beaded bead. If you make multiples of these, it bends really easily, so this would make an awesome bangle. It'll make cute earrings, whatever you want to do, but I've done a little section here so you can see what it looks like actually started and made up. Now, here's the deal. I thought I was going to be brilliant and that I was going to put the Crawl, or not the Crawl, but the Super Duos, I thought I was going to put them up and down, like where these beads are. It was going to be up and down. But here's what happens. That doesn't work out. It doesn't work out using a Super Duo up here either, where my 6 is, because if you do that, you have to have some sort of bead above it that is going to be your next anchor for the Crawl box. So this is the way that I've worked it out to where it works the best, okay? So, India, thank you. Thank you. My nails are just Color Street nail strips. Shelly, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, so excited. She said, if you do not have the Crawl tool, make sure to get it. Thank you. I love my Crawl tool. So I have my 11s. I believe this is, oh shoot, the little things on the bottom. Okay, so this one's a Toho. The great thing about this, it doesn't matter if you use Toho or Miyuki. So this one is a Toho because I can see that it is light topaz. There we go. Silver line light topaz in my Toho. All right. I'm going to use this is an opaque red. Hey, it's Christmas time. And I needed something that you guys would be able to see really, really well on the camera. So we're going to do that. I am going to be using a pastel olivine Super Duo bead. And let me grab an 8 here really quickly. I thought I had one, but evidently I don't. So let me grab that color really quickly. Bear with me, guys, for just a second. I'm sorry. Normally, I'm so much more prepared. All right, so we're going to mix silver and gold. We're going to be like that song on Rudolph. We're going to mix silver and gold. Silver and gold. Okay. So I've got my 8s, my 11s, my 6s, and my duos. So this is what we're playing with today. I got my thread going. I put 2 yards of thread on that, but you can use however much you would like on your thread, especially since you're just practicing. So I'm going to show both ways how to start this. I'm going to show how to start it normal, and then I'm going to show how to start using my Craw tool. So let me grab one of my tools here. I have a whole little box of tools that I don't, like something's wrong with it or I don't like the way it looks. So I don't sell those. So I've got a whole little box. So if you do not have a Craw tool, you are going to start with 4 size 6 seed beads. All right. Bring them down and go through all 4 beads again. And then you're going to tie these 2 threads together. So you're going to tie your tail thread and your working thread together. Okay, and again, if you are just joining us, make sure to go to my website and grab the free download that I have for you there, okay? Suzanne Greenall says, whenever I'm practicing a stitch, I use dental floss. It seems to help us keep my good stuff for the proper stuff. Well, hey, that's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I have my 4 beads. Now, if you are left-handed or right-handed, it's going to be worked exactly the same way, okay? So I'm going to go through one of the beads next to my knot. Here is how we are going to work our first box and every box after that. So step 1, and I'm going to read it straight by my pattern so that way you'll be familiar with the lingo. So the first thing I did, if you'll notice, if you'll look on the pattern, just like in our Craw Variations worksheet that I have from our last class, I've put on here what you need for wall 1. So you can actually go ahead and lay these beads out if you want to. That way you don't have to keep looking back. You'll kind of know what you need for wall 1. So I'm going to thread on from where I'm coming out. I'm going to thread on an 8, a duo, an 8, a 6, and an 8. Okay, so again, I have an 8, a duo, an 8, a 6, and an 8. And I'm going to let these beads drop down, and I'm going to go through the other hole of the duo, the one that I just threaded on. Well, Esther, welcome. She says it's her first live and it's her birthday. Hello. Angela, honey, you may want to either change your screen size on your whatever you're watching on, or you may want to log out and come back in because I'm watching on my computer as well and it's showing in focus. So... okay, so I'm going to leave this kind of pulled back so you can see. So you can see there where I've gone down through that other duo. And I'm going to pull this through. And now step 3 says thread on an 8 and go through the 6. Your thread is currently exiting on the base. This completes your first wall. So what I'm going to do is this is the 6 that I was coming out of, and I'm coming right back through that same bead again so that when I pull this through, now that completes my wall 1. Okay? Now, step 4. Continue through the next base 6-0. So this is the one that my thread is currently exiting. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm just going to come through that very next size 6 seed bead here. Now, if you'll notice again on your pattern, right before step 5, I tell you what you need for wall 2. So wall 2 says I'm going to thread on an 8, a duo, an 8, and a 6. Okay, so again, for this wall, wall 2, I have an 8, a duo, an 8, and a 6. Okay, now it says take your needle down through the top 8 of the previous wall. India, I would not suggest popping in an 11 yet, okay? And we'll talk more about that, so don't worry. Okay, let me get it going here. Okay, so this is wall 1, and it says to go down through the top 8 from wall 1. So instead of just sharing, come on, let me get it going here. Okay, instead of it sharing like 2 beads straight up and down, what we are going to be doing is it's going to be sharing this 8 and this 8. So each wall is going to be sharing 2 8s. So it says to go down through the top 8 of the previous wall. So I'm going to go down through this 8 here of my previous wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on it and I'm going to pull through. So that way it doesn't move, get loose, twisted, anything like that. Okay, so I went through that 8. Step 6, go through the open hole of the duo just added. So this is my duo that I just added here. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go down through just that one super duo. I don't know what I just said. I think I said that totally backwards. But you see what I'm doing. You got a pattern. You see what I'm doing. Okay, let me grab it here. Okay. So you can see what I did was I put my finger here on this 6 seed bead and I pulled this thread straight down and gave it a little tug. That's little tip, a little FYI tip for you, because if you don't do that, this is going to get really loose and you're going to get frustrated. So again, I just grabbed a hold of that 6 here at the top and I pulled the thread straight down. So that tightened everything up. Now, step 7 says take your needle through the bottom 8-0 of the previous wall and through the base 6-0 that your thread is exiting. So that means I'm going to come down through this 8 here and then through the size 6 seed bead that my thread exiting to make the wall. Okay, and don't worry, we're going to go over this. I'm going to show you what a crawl tool is. Somebody just asked, what is a crawl tool? I'm going to show you that, so don't you worry. Step 9 or 8, continue through the next base 6. So I'm going to go right through the very next size 6 seed bead. Now again, right before step 9, you'll see there I tell you what you need to add for this wall. So for wall 3, I've got an 8, a duo, an 8, and a 6. So step 9 says repeat steps 5 through 8 to make a third wall. So for the third wall, we pick up an 8, we pick up a duo, we pick up an 8, and we pick up a 6. India, yes, it sort of does look like people having a meeting. That's right. All right, so I have my beads and I come, remember, they're going to share these 2 size 8 seed beads. So I come down through the top 8, pull it through, and then I go through the other hole of the duo that I just added. Now again, I'm going to put my finger there as I pull this thread. And then I'm going to grab a hold of the 6 here and I'm going to give this a tug down. So that way it pulls everything tight for you. The final step of the wall is you go through the bottom 8 and then the 6 that you started the wall with. So when I pull this through and I make a knot, it looks like, let me back out here. Lord, I just made it worse. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Pull it out. There we go. Okay. So now when I look down on it, I should see 3 size 6 seed beads at the top. That helps me to know that I have 3 walls and I need to finish out the last wall. So to finish out the last wall, I have to go through the bottom size 6 seed bead down here. And then I am actually ready for wall 4. Again, when you look on the free pattern right above step 11, it tells you what we are going to add for wall 4. All right. So it says thread on 1 okay, wait. First I got to go to 10. Y'all are letting me get ahead of myself. So first, I got to do step 10. So I have to go up through the size 8 seed bead of wall 1. Okay, so that's the one here to the left. So I'm going to go up through that 1 bead. I pick up a super duo, and then I go through the 8 right above it. All right, so I'm skipping the duo and going through the 8. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my 6, and I'm going to come across, and I'm going to go down through the 8 here on this side. Remember, every wall is sharing 8s. So I come down through the 8 here. And then I'm going to go through the duo, the open hole of the duo, and then the 8 right below. Okay, so if you have to do this in 2 steps, that's fine. Go through the duo, pull through, and then go through that 8. Hold it, pull everything tight. So now we have 4 6s on the top. We have 4 duos. We have our 8s and we have our 6s. Now, the only thing that we have left to do, Wendy, do not worry. I'm going to be starting this a couple of times. So it's going to be really helpful for you too if you will grab the free pattern that goes with this. It'll be helpful, super helpful. Okay, now if you'll notice, where's my sample? Here it is. Right now, we still kind of looking like a hot mess. Okay, but we're going to make it look pretty because now we're going to put in some size 11 seed beads that's going to give us an embellishment. So from the 8 that I'm coming out of, I'm going to come through the 6 and the 8. I'm going to pick up 2 11s. And I'm going to come right through the 8, right above where my thread's coming out. So when I pull that, Lord, y'all, I am a hot mess today. When I pull that, you see, now I have my 2 11s there, and it covers up the space here that you see in between my duos. So it covers that up. So now it doesn't matter if I go to the right or to the left, but I'm going to go through a 6 and an 8. Now, I pick up 2 11s, and let me see. I don't know, India. I'll try. Give me just a second. Let me finish this box. Okay, so I pick up the 2 11s, and I come down through the 8 right below the one I'm coming out of. And then I come through the next 6 and 8. Pick up 2 11s, and you come through the 8 right above. Okay, so you see how it's changing the look of it. And then I go through the 6 and the 8. And I pick up 2 beads. Okay, so Carmelina, what you probably want to do is log out and log back in, because either that or change your settings, like your screen settings, because I'm watching it on my computer as I do it and it's fully clear. So, okay, so I've got my 2 11s, and then I'm going to come down through just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go and I'm going to stitch through the beads to come out of the top. Now, this is where it's completely your prerogative. And we had this whole discussion during our last live because some designers will tell you to do not go through these 4 beads again at your top. I am not one of those designers. If going through these 4 beads helps to pull it tight for you, all right, if that helps to pull it tight, go through those 4 beads, okay? Do not worry. If it helps you, do it. So I am not loving this color combo. I think this might be one of the ugliest things I've ever done. But we're going to keep on with it because I think it allows you to be able to see how your beads are going together. Yes, this at this point, I think is a very cool beaded bead. You could take a bicone, say like a 4mm bicone, and put one on the top and the bottom, and this would be a really fun, just little beaded bead. Or you could do it, and then you could put as a single bead, put a few beads in between, like actually string them, and then do another little beaded bead. So it's completely up to you. This is just a really, really fun one. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Oh gosh. Let's see. I'm going to do a little half-hitch knot here. And I'm going to show you, just so that we can all see, I'm going to show you what it looks like if we made this into a little earring. Okay. So I'm just going to go around and do just a couple of half-hitch knots here. And we're going to get rid of that working thread. And, let me find a needle. I'm feeling very ill-prepared today. All right, and so again, if you are just joining me, make sure to go to the website, grab the free pattern, okay, for this stitch. And again, all I'm wanting to show you today is the basics of how to do this with Super Duo beads, okay? I'm going to be showing you a full project in January with this, and I'm so excited because let me tell you, it's so pretty. I will toot my own horn. Okay? So I think it's because I've used 2 brands of beads. I've used Toho's and my Yuki's. It didn't come out as symmetrical as it normally does. So, and I think that's probably why, just because I mixed. Now, I'm going to just grab whatever I've got here, just so I can show you what it would look like if we put a little 4mm bead on the top and the bottom. And I think somewhere I have head pins. Well, I have no idea where they went. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on my needle so you can see what it would look like. So look how cute that looks. I love it. What a cute little earring that would be. Oh, I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. So you can see there, if we put a little bicone on the top and the bottom, that's what it's going to look like. And again, I think this is the first time that I have mixed my brands, and I think it's just because of the mixed brands, it's coming out a little wonky, because the one where I've used all the same brands, so I've used like all my Yuki or all Toho, have come out very uniform. So I think that's why on that one. So what I'm going to do, because I completely do not like this, I am Yes, I am going to change my bead colors just because I don't like the way it looks. Oh, okay. So I'm going to put these up, and I felt like Meredith Roddy. I had a whole board full of beads here the other day that I was messing with. And so I still have all those out, so that's not a biggie. Okay. All right, so we're going to go with some other colors. Let me see what I got over here. Ooh, okay, we're going to go with some bronze. And I'm going back to all one brand of seed bead here. That'll just make my life happy. Ooh, and I think we're going to go with some blue. Some really pretty blue. And, ooh, I think I'm going to do a copper. I think this one's Muscat, maybe. A Muscat 11. And then we're going with that 6. Okay. Here we go. Yes, blue and bronze together is amazing. I'm hoping this is going to turn out pretty. We'll see. Yes, exactly, Shelly. I always tell people, like, if you start it and you don't like it, don't keep going, because I promise you aren't going to be happy. These are all my Yuki, except for this is a Toho here, I believe. That one is a Toho. So somebody asked a little while ago, what is a Craw tool? So this is a tool that I invented in 2018 because I needed to teach 30 or 40 people at one time how to do Craw. And the biggest thing when you get started with Craw, it's hard to hold on to it. So I invented, my dad helped me to come up with this little tool here, and I've been selling it ever since. It's an amazing tool. You can find it on my website, offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a size 6 seed bead, and I'm going to bring it down and go back through the bead again. And Sammy just posted a direct link in the comments to the tool, I believe. So I'm going to put a bead stopper on here with just a little bit of thread, and I'm going to go through the hole here that is put into the wood. Now, all I have to do is just use my hand to hold that in place to get started. Now, if you look, and I'm going to pull it back here just a little. If you look at the top of the tool, it doesn't matter if I work to the right or to the left. Whichever way you want to start, make sure to take your needle and go through that way. Now, for my left-handed friends, I'm going to work this way. So that way you can see, for my friends who are left-handed, how this is going to work. All right? So all this does is this just holds this in place so that you can start the stitch. Now, I'm going to work a basic crawl using my size 6 seed beads. All right? So I'm going to come back through. I picked up 3 beads, and I'm coming back through the bead on the base that I'm coming out of to make my circle. Okay, the great thing about this tool as well, you can use size 11, size 8, size 6, 3mm fire polish, and 4mm fire polish, all on this tool. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to work just a regular box of Craw with my size 6 seed beads. So when I take this off the tool, I'm going to lose just my beads here, not these top ones, just the beads here along the bottom edge. Hey, Heather, I'm so glad you're with us today. Okay, and I'm working in the opposite direction again for my left-handed friends so that you can see me do it backwards. Okay, and just real quickly, and if you are not familiar with Craw, you can go back to the Craw variations video that the live I did a couple of weeks ago, and I go very step by step with that one. So make sure to hit up that video. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so I'm going back through all those beads again just because I'm doing this left-handed and I know it's going to get loose on me. Okay, so here we go. Step 1. I pick up an 8, a super duo, an 8, a 6, an 8, and I'm going to let these drop down. Okay, and when I let them drop down, then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come through the open hole of the duo that I just added. Hold that duo in place and pull the thread straight down. Now I pick up an 8 and I'm going to come back through the same size 6 seed bead on the base so that it finishes out wall 1. Okay, so wall 1. Now I come through the next size 6 seed bead here. Wall 2 is I'm going to thread on an 8, a duo, an 8, and a 6. Remember, our walls share size 8 seed beads. So I take my needle and I come down through the top size 8 seed bead of the previous wall. So I go through it, I hold it in place, and I pull the thread. Now I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to come through the open hole of the duo that I've already got into place. Again, I'm going to put my finger there, pull the thread, and then I'm going to grab a hold of the size 6 seed bead here at the top, and I'm going to pull the thread straight down so that it tightens the beadwork up. Now I come through the size 8 seed bead and the size 6 seed bead. So now I have 2 walls. Come through the next size 6 seed bead. I pick up an 8, a duo, an 8, and a 6. I'm going to come around to make my wall and I go through the top 8. Put your finger there before you pull through. Grab a hold of the other duo, the other hole. Again, if you just pull through, you see what happened? It's always a good idea to hold the bead as you pull and then grab that size 6 at the top and pull, okay? Karen says, the variation of crawl video is where it finally clicked after years of dismay with the stitch. I got it and have made several ropes since and across. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, Karen, that's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad that clicked. Okay, so now to finish out the wall, I go through the next 8 and 6. Okay, so now if I look to the top here, you see I have 3 6s and I have 3 duos so far. So to get into position, I go through the last 6 here of my base. And I go up through the size 8 seed bead right above where that thread is coming out. Pick up a duo and go through the 8 right above it. Now pick up a 6, take your needle and come across and come down through the 8 right across from where your thread's coming out. And then I come down through the open hole of the duo and the 8. Pull this through. Again, pull everything tight. And now it doesn't matter if I work to the left or to the right. So I've got to go through the 6 and then the 8. And then I pick up 2 11s and go right through the 8 right above where the thread's coming out so that it puts those in place. All right. Come through the next 6 and 8. I put on 2 11s and come down through the 8. And I'm loving, I wish that you guys were sitting here with me and could see how pretty this is, like in real time, in real person, because it's so pretty. So now 2 11s, and I go up through the 8, and then through the 6 and the 8. And then this is my last wall that I put in with the 2 11s, and I come down through the 8 so that now I have a cube done here of the Craw with duos. Okay? Now, if you want to continue to build off of this, what you need to do is you need to stitch to come up out of the top, and you want to come out of one of these 6s here in the top. So again, if it helps you, go through those 4 6s again on the top so that it pulls them together into a nice tight little cube of beads. Now, for those of you who have never used my Craw tool, I love, like this gives you something to hold on to. So that's what's so great about it. So for those of you who've never seen it, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take it off just so you can see me take this off and what happens. So I pulled the stop bead off, and I'm going to pull that little thread out. Now, let's see. Penny says, oh, never mind. Y'all are still chatting it up. What I'm going to do is, you see here, I'm taking my beadwork, I'm grabbing a hold, and I'm just kind of rolling it around like this. And you see how loose now that has become. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm just going to pull that first bead. And then after that, each bead will pull right out so that now it's off of the tool and I have my one piece here that now I can either continue to work on or keep going. Penny says, it looks like the royal gems at the end of the scepter. Yes, it does. I love it. I love this. Absolutely love this. So, do we have questions about how to do Craw with Super Duo beads? Any questions? If you'll look away for just a minute, I'm going to switch the camera around so that I can answer any questions. There we go. Okay. So, yes, Eva says she missed the very beginning of the video. Actually, India, no, this one is not wonky. This one is really perfect, and especially if I continue to work on it, like continue to do my rows, it's going to be even better. So I'm really, really happy with this one. So if you just jumped in, make sure to go to my website and grab the free download. Okay, this one is free. It's featured as the free on my website. So you can just go to the main page, scroll down, you'll see featured. It's there. It's completely free. All you have to do is check out to be able to get the download link for it. All right, so make sure to get it. Practice, practice, practice this stitch over the next few weeks, because in January, we're going to be live. And I am going to be showing you a beautiful, beautiful necklace showing how to use your Craw and how to make it basically go from Craw to Craw with duos. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Kristen, I am not going to preview it till it gets closer to it, just because I'm still working out a couple of tweaks on it. So, but believe me, I'm in love with this thing. Penny wants to know how long I have been teaching on YouTube. I have been beading for almost 22 years. In March, I will have had my store for 21 years, and I have been on YouTube for about the last 10 or 11 years. So, yes, that's how long I have been. India says, did you see my smiling snowman earrings that I made? Yes, I did. And you did fantastic on that. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you will practice, and I hope that this will click. If not, I promise you by January, you will be able to fly through it, because we're going to do another live and I'm going to show you an awesome necklace, and I'm so excited. I will give you a little bit of a spoiler alert for the rest of the 12 days since you're watching my video. Tomorrow on my website, all kits on my website are 30% off, okay? On Sunday, you've got a new video and a free pattern coming your way. And on Monday, you've got another new video coming out. And then your girl's probably going to take some time off because I need it. So let's see, what size thread? You learning this, you're going to do better with a thicker thread, like a 6-pound or an 8-pound fire line. If you don't have that, then just double your thread and work with a double thread. That's going to help you a lot. Penny says, be sure to click the thumbs up button before you go. Thank you, Penny. Really, really, really appreciate that. So, a little bit of news for you as well before I jump off. I have had my store for 20 years, and like I said, in March, it will be 21 years. And never in a million years did I think that, number one, I would still have a store 20 years later, but number two, never ever did I think that my online presence would grow to the extent that it has grown. So I pretty much had to come down and make a decision as to, do I have a nervous breakdown? I mean, you guys see me cry yesterday, like cry on my live on Facebook, okay? And it's just because I've spread myself way too thin. So do I have a nervous breakdown, which I do not want to do? Or do I change something about my life that is going to help it for the better? So after a lot of praying, a lot of discussion, a lot of asking some other real close friends to pray with me, we decided that in 2023, we are going to be shutting down my full-time bead store, okay? Now, that doesn't mean, hey, Kelly's closing her store, so don't start that rumor, okay? Because I am not closing down the store. You will still be able to shop with me 24 hours a day at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. So for my friends who are far away, there's going to be no change for you, okay? The biggest change is going to be for my locals, and it's just that our hours are going to change, and we're only going to be open 1 weekend a month. That's it. And then you can do by appointment or whatever you want to do. But it's gotten to that point, I can't find people who want to work and who don't want to work for $30 an hour. And me and Sammy are doing it all. So it just came to, what do we do? So that is a little bit of news for you. Like I said, don't start the rumor that Kelly is shutting down. Kelly is not shutting down, okay? I am just continuing on my business just in a different way. And I'm excited for it, guys. I'm so excited for it. So, watch your inboxes come January, because I will be announcing to my people who come to my bead retreats for next year. I will be announcing to them the very 1st of January the dates for next year's bead retreats. Then around the end of February or end of January, I will be listing that for all of you guys so that you can see the dates. And if you want to do a retreat, I would love to have you for one of my retreats. All right. The retreats we have here in the store, I have several of them, and I have 15 to 20 people who are at each of those retreats. And then I also have digital retreats, which means it's the same retreat. It's just we do it through Zoom. rather than here in the store. So if you you can't afford to fly to North Carolina and come to a retreat, or you can't physically come to North Carolina, then I can come to you via Zoom. So that is the fun thing. And yes, Shelly, you were correct. Because I'm gonna have not so much on my plate, you will probably see a little bit more of me here online. So no worries. But I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderful afternoon and a wonderful weekend. Again, go get your free download, practice this, and I would love, love, love to do this again with you in January. So be watching my emails, because I will actually announce when I'll be going live for that one. It'll be on a Monday. So I'll announce the live for that one so you will know, and we can all hang out and do a necklace together. And don't worry, I'll give you a supply list way before so you'll be ready to go. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.